take a listen, Michael, to how the media is portraying the story. All right, we'll kick it off with...
Well, first of all, the homicide rate in Washington, D.C. is very high compared to other major cities and other world capitals. So to continue to say crime is down, I think you're giving people a false sense of the fact that it is, in fact, dangerous in Washington, D.C. But I tried to tell you last night, this issue with the Doge kid, Ed, people are pissed about this. And it hammered home for a lot of Republicans the fact that Washington, D.C. is violent. There's roving street gangs. There's lots of carjackings. And, you know, this guy worked in the White House. He was known to a lot of senior government officials. And I told you last night it had set off a firestorm in the Republican Party. And this is the result.
Yes, President Trump posted this 1 hour ago. Washington, D.C. will be liberated today. Crime, fear, and scum would disappear. I will make our capital great again. The days of ruthlessness, all hurting innocent people are over. I quickly fixed the border. 0 illegals in less than 3 months. DC is next. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Trump.
We have seen over and over from the president, from his team, Stephen Miller saying it's like Baghdad in Ethiopia. They seem to hold their harshest criticism sometimes for cities that are majority black and brown. Do you see that, and what do you think that means?
I think that I have been dealing kind of with this issue for a number of years. It's kind of easy fodder on the campaign trail. But now we're talking about governing, and my job is to focus on making sure our city is running well, and people enjoy a great quality of life. And I think we're doing a really good job. We do need the federal government's help, as I mentioned, because they have an outsized influence on our criminal justice system. We need more prosecutors. We need more judges. There are other ways to help. Even we want to rebuild our jail, and there are ways that the feds can help with that. But also just doing their part, cutting the grass, fixing the fountains, making sure that federal law enforcement is doing all of the policing that they can do. And I just have to say thank you to MPS, FBI, ATF, who've always worked cooperatively with us, and we expect that they will again.
Yes. Do you know what is more funny? Liberals are saying the federal government should be there to cut grass and remove in their neighborhood. I said this, only Democrat would take issues with President Trump stepping in to make cities safer for everybody. Gavin Newsom is already there ranting. I said it. What happened in California will happen anywhere else. That is what Gavin Newsom is saying. I don't know if there is a crime in cleaning up a city or what exactly is going on. They will always look for loopholes, struggle to politicize everything. Just wait after the announcement, you will see what Democrats will do. They will create a scenario or some kind of scene like what we saw with Gavin Newsom and Karim Bass. This is the same thing. But I'm glad that this mayor, Bowser, is not like that. She was tricked on MMBC to respond in such a way, but along the way, her response is different. That's to tell you that she's understanding and she is actually for the idea that this city should be clean.
We have home rule for a reason.
Because if it's safety and crime the president is worried about, Green has some thoughts to add to his agenda.
Or is he going to come pick up our trash next? Is that what I should expect? We do have areas with high grass that he can cut. I have infrastructure problems in my community. Can he put some funding on the table for that?
He shouldn't be making those kind of decisions. That's more like a dictator.
Gotti thinks that if this is the way the administration is going to continue...
Everybody now is in like a big old gumbo pot of, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't know what you're going to get served.
To have a real talk about Trump federalizing Washington, D.C. potentially tomorrow and what that could mean for the rest of the country. First of all, does anybody else find it really odd that he's willing to do this after a guy named Big Balls was assaulted on the street, but not when a mob was storming the U.S. Capitol building? By now, I'm sure we've all seen this post from Truth Social from earlier today, where he says he's going to hold a press conference tomorrow morning and potentially announce that he's sending the National Guard into DC, rounding up the criminals and the homeless. Actually, he posted again telling the homeless population of DC to leave immediately. He's going to essentially put them into internment or concentration camps. Let's be clear about that. You might be asking, how is he able to do this? That's insane. Well, Washington, D.C. is not a state. It's a federal district. Everything that the government of DC does has to be approved by Congress. Even their own budget that they submit every year, it has to have congressional approval. So if Trump wants to send the National Guard in and replace the Metropolitan Police Department, he can essentially do that with little to no pushback at all.
Hey y'all, well bless his little authoritarian heart. POTUS Trump just rolled out a federal law enforcement takeover of Washington, D.C. Y'all, this ain't about crime. No, crime is already down 26% this year in D.C. That's right, down. But he's acting like it's Gotham City. He's deployed the FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, and even ICE, all under this little thing that he's calling Safe and Beautiful Task Force. Baby, if that ain't a rebrand for a federal occupation, I don't know what is. But let me spill some real tea. He's not just trying to clean up the Capitol. He's testing how far he can push federal control in Democratic-led black and brown cities. You see what happens when one man decides your mayor doesn't matter. Imagine him sending troops into Philly during an election, or restoring order in Atlanta during a no governor's approval, no local vote, just vibes and executive orders. It's giving dictatorship with a side of DC tourism.
So I see that Donald Trump wants the homeless people to move out of DC immediately. Well, buddy, I have some news for you. Your policies that you have been implementing, including the big bullshit bill, is going to make a whole lot more homeless people coming up. If you don't want homeless people, then you should put money into mental health services. You should put money into jobs programs. You should put money into healthcare programs. Instead, you've cut all of those things and are going to make people, a lot of people become homeless because they're not going to have these services or anything anymore, and they're already on the brink. Also, DC doesn't have a crime problem that's any different than any other city. Like, every city has problems. When you have this many people together and you have poverty, you are going to have crime. So maybe if you don't want crime, you should put things in place that make sure that people aren't desperate enough to turn to crime. But instead, Republicans say, screw you, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though there are no bootstraps to be pulled up from. I'm so tired of Republicans blaming poor people and homeless people for problems that they could solve if they just didn't give trillions of dollars to millionaires and billionaires just a few weeks ago.
Do you know what is getting me crazy? Is the fact that these people are ranting this way. It is like Trump wants to, do something wrong. How on earth was a president take a decision to clean up a city as a problem? I don't know why these people behave this way. Oh, he wants to take homeless people and put into camps. Oh, Trump wants to do this one. Oh, I knew this would be coming. This is just the beginning. You will be seeing a lot of videos like this surfacing. But I just like the fact that Trump doesn't even care. No matter how you make noise there, but he will just continue to do what is right. You saw what happened at the border with the noise coming from the Democrat. Oh, everything has been cleaned up. Now we are not even talking about that any longer. Looking at this, is there a problem to clean up? Some says, oh, it's because the beat up big boss the other day reason now Trump is taking this decision. But it's not strange, Liberals will always be outraged over everything Trump does. So seeing them doing this, to me, is not something strange. I understand that they are always this way. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. For days now, I was literally unable to shoot videos. I was down. If you notice, all the clips I was putting out here, maybe a single video every day, was because I was unable to do it. But I believe God is faithful I'm coming back gradually to report, bring you information from different directions, like I usually do every day. Please, I'm begging, share the videos always. As of the short clips you see at the end of this, that is for the YT algorithm.
Clear. Barack Obama is not the president of the United States.
I think the fact that Malia graduated from Harvard still lives rent-free in his head. And it's just the very swag that Obama has that he will never have. In fact, there is a viral clip going on right now. Check this out.
Touch them up and go.
Oh, Obama has swag. Oh, you can't beat this. If you see short videos after this, that is for the YT algorithm.
No matter how good the dad is,
he can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college.
We are specific.
Driver's license.
Yeah, you got.
What a voice. I cried. But
Any barriers, don't mind making this easy. People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I line up.
It is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. The lies and
Not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it...
Registration Act.
You will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
It's bad.
You need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a level of weight.
Position.